Back at it again with another vlog. So for this job, it actually came to me from Production Hub, and I'm just contracted to film for a BK fighter. The fighter name is Lorenzo Hunt. It's just basic interview with some B-roll coverage, but for the interview part of it, they want a 2-camera setup. So I'm on my way to the rental shop right now to go pick up a Sony a7 IV. I chose the a7 IV because simply just last time I used it, I kind of enjoyed using it. So I didn't mind picking it up again and using it for this film. Now, with the interview side of this job, I did run into a couple issues that I'm going to get into a little bit later in this video. The job was in Jacksonville, Florida, so it was about a 2.5-hour drive away from me. But these are the type of jobs that I want to get more of. I kind of enjoy doing these jobs. You know, it's different than just filming events all the time that I typically do. So whenever I can get some combat jobs, I really enjoy doing them. And the good part about this job is I networked and met a lot of different people who know a lot of different people. And that's the best part about coming to a job and just communicating with people. All right, so let me explain to you guys the issues that I was having with the interview. I got there roughly 30 minutes early. And when I got in, got all my gear in and started setting up, the people that were already there were just showing me around. Now, the client who hired me, the producer and the director, they're remote. So they're in a totally different state. So they're not on site here to be with me to conduct this interview. So 30 minutes from me, and I talk about it a lot, it's not enough time for me to set up an interview. I'm just very picky on how I want to light things. I want to give it my all and I want to make it look really, really good. And for me to do that, I just need a little bit more time. I need roughly 45 minutes to maybe even an hour if I'm going to light this really, really, really good. Now, I can just do a basic 1 key light with a softbox and call it a day, but I want to go above and beyond. And maybe sometimes that's my issue when I get these jobs is I try to always go above and beyond. And sometimes in certain situations, that's just not the case. Sometimes just a basic 1 key light interview is all that it takes. And the stressful part about this was me trying to manage 2 cameras on top of trying to hurry up and rush so the guy can FaceTime us to do the interview because, like I mentioned, the interview was via FaceTime on my phone. So that's another reason why I wasn't really able to capture B-roll. When I do these jobs in situations like this, the job is the priority, the job is first. So that's why I wasn't really able to capture the interview part of the B-roll for you guys. So I'm going to show you guys the interview, but I'm not going to play the audio. I'm not under any obligations where I can't show it, but this is for a mainstream fighter and I don't want to leak anything that I shouldn't be leaking. So I'm just going to show you the interview. I'm just going to show you where I messed up. So first thing first is the key light. The key light for this interview, the guy was wearing sunglasses. And if you don't know or never lit anybody with sunglasses, you want to raise the key light just a little bit higher so you don't see the reflection in the person's sunglasses. So when the interview started, since I was rushing, it wasn't until we were on like the 3rd or 4th question where I really started to notice this key light is really reflecting in his sunglasses, and it was going to be a really big distraction. And I was just so nervous because we already started to say, hey, I'm sorry, can we redo this? I need to make an adjustment. But I built the courage to do that because if I didn't, the client was not going to be happy with this image at all. I wouldn't even be happy if someone sent me this. So I had to interrupt them, pause it. Hey, sorry, let me do it one more, give me 1 more minute. Let me adjust this because his sunglasses are on and I don't want this to be in the shot. They're reflecting off his sunglasses. So let me just adjust this real quick and then you're good. All right, now it looks better. So yeah, it's just his sunglasses.
You want to do that again?
Yeah, just do
it's better the second time.
Yeah.
We can start from scratch.
Yeah, you can do it. It's just your sunglasses, the reflective.
Yeah, let's start from scratch.
Okay, now look at the cameras for me. It's just a reflection from your sunglasses. I don't want that to be a problem.
I'm catching all the shine off those belts, man. They're shining nice. From my view, they look good.
Thanks. A lot of work.
I know, man. You just tell me I'm watching your whole time. I'm excited for you. I gotta keep my excitement out of this, but I'm excited for you, man.
Okay, this should be better. That's gonna bother me if I see that. Okay, yeah, that's better. Okay, now we can redo it.
Let's work.
Let me hit pause on the cameras and redo everything. So we had to pause the interview and I had to make the adjustments. I had to raise the key light and just move it a little bit more behind him just so you don't see the reflection in his sunglasses. Second mistake that I made is going to be, I wish I would have added more negative fill to the right side of his face. It was just too much light shining on that side and I felt like just adding more negative fill could have just added more contrast to it. But I just didn't have time. The third thing was going to be the headroom. I wish I would have just lowered the A camera, which was the FX6, a little bit lower just so you can see more of his hands in the interview. But again, they were literally, the producer was calling me, asking me, where am I at? What am I doing? As I was trying to set up the audio. So everything was just super stressful for me. And I'm not going to lie, this was probably one of my most stressful jobs that I had. Aside those three issues that I had, I think the interview did come out good. The audio came out crisp. I honestly was just beating myself up this entire shoot. I was like, man, this interview did not come out the way that I want. I'm really hoping the audio came out clean. I'm really hoping the framing looks good. I hope all the distractions are out. It was just really hard. And another mistake that I made was the A7 IV, the B camera. I tried to match the settings before I even got to the location, but I just forgot to play around with the A7 IV a little bit more. I had the ISO on the FX6 to set to 800, and the ISO on the A7 IV was set to 12,800. The aperture on the FX6 was set to 1.4, and then the aperture on the A7 IV was set to 2.8. I had an 85 on the A7 IV and a 35 on the FX6. I was gonna set them both to a 1.8, but again, as I was setting up the A7 IV, that's when the guy called me, and I was trying to rush, setting up the A7 IV and setting up the audio on top of that. Just gonna have to start moving faster for these jobs, honestly. There's no excuses, but yeah, those were the most stressful parts of this job. So I didn't capture any interview for that. I couldn't even capture a proper thumbnail for this video, for crying out loud.
As a videographer, don't just come here with the attitude and the mindset, okay, I'm getting paid, I'm gonna just do a good job for a director and that's it. Do a good job for the people who are actually there. Like I mentioned before, the director and the producer wasn't here, they were remote. I'm actually talking and networking with these people who work around this company, and it's like they kept bragging about how friendly I was, how much I was talking to them. And I think because of that, it kind of slowed me down a little bit, because I'm a people person. I love interacting, I love meeting people, I love talking to people. But I don't know. So I hope the footage came out good. I'm gonna go back home and review it, and then I gotta send it off.